Hey, on to the big biology. So, all of topic 6 is about human systems. So, we're going to start there. We're going to start off with the digestive system. Um, so, the digestive system kind of has two main roles, and I think they're forgotten. We definitely going to put food in our mouth, and we're going to break it down into smaller pieces eventually. But we also need to absorb the byproducts of our food, the smallest units, into our blood, so we can assimilate them and use them, in all different parts of our body. This topic is divided into I would say three sections. So there's the first part that are the enzymes. So all of these are talking about like why we need to digest, how enzymes help us do that, and also some specific ones. Then this next part here is kind of like the parts. So all of this is like draw and label, what do they do? Also looking at some of the smaller parts of the digestive system. So looking through microscopic slides. And then this last part here, and then on to the next page, is about absorbing those byproducts into the blood. And there's different ways we do that, depending on the type of molecule, the food molecule. So, just erase this mess. We're going to start off with 6.1.1. And 6.1.1 basically is just like, why do we even need to break down food into smaller pieces? Why don't you just eat a hamburger and just put that hamburger into your blood? Which sounds delicious. But no, we need to break them into smaller parts. So we actually begin the digestive process in our mouth through something called mechanical digestion. So this means without any enzymes. So this is chewing. So when you chew in your mouth, you're breaking it into smaller pieces, and what you're doing is you're adding surface area. So that increases surface area for the enzymes to work on. And then once we've have more surface area, then we can use enzymes to act on them better. So we're going to be talking about all those different processes. Before we do, I just want to talk about like the big food and then what we need to eventually break them down into. So if we're looking at our big carbohydrates, for example, starch. So I like to use a hamburger as an example. So the bun is made of starch, bread, and starch is a carbohydrate. This is how plants store their energy. And the molecule that we're going to eventually make, the smallest part that makes up starch, is monosaccharides, for example, glucose. So our subunit, our smallest subunit, will be monosaccharides. Another large food, or another group of the large foods are proteins, right? So this would be what part of the burger? Right, the meat, of course. And those proteins are broken down into polypeptides and eventually even smaller to its smallest subunit, which are amino acids. And the last part of our meal, something you find in a burger, especially if it's like a bacon double cheeseburger, is our fats, right? So those are lipids. That's the word we use for fats. And they're broken down into two parts. So you have that glycerol piece, that's kind of like the scaffolding of it. But you also have three fatty acids attached to that triglyceride. So I wrote lipids here, but quite often we store our lipids as triglycerides. I'm going to run out of room. Squeezed it in barely. So those are the big pieces, and those smaller pieces that we're going to digest them into are our subunits right here.